na na na. Family goes, oh na na na. Oh na na na. Come kick it with the Casey's. All that love and all those babies. C-A-S-C-Y. Welcome to the lives. Welcome. C-A-S-C-Y. DJ Envy and Gia, oh oh. It's time to kick it with the Casey's. You're tuned into the Casey crew.
What up, y'all? It's DJ Envy.
And I am Gia Casey.
And this is another edition of the KC Crew.
Welcome. Hello, 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 beautiful people.
And happy
holiday season.
Jinx. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and all that good stuff. Happy Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. Happy holidays to you and yours, all right? I just want to remind you guys at the end of the podcast, Gia's going to be doing something special for all the subscribers and viewers of Real Life, Real Food. All right. So we'll tell you about that at the end of the podcast. But before we do that, I want to let you guys know that I'm officially started the regimen. Let me rephrase that. I'm officially a part of the regimen. No, I'm officially a part of the facial regimen posse gang. Right.
I guess so.
Yes. So Gia has me doing all types of shit before I leave every morning and all types of shit before I leave at night. And I've been getting it together. And this will make my face look younger. This will take away any lines that were going to come. I'm just really learning how to use my ring finger and pat my eyes like this in the morning and pat my eyes.
Ring finger is your weakest finger. So when you apply your eye serum, your eye cream, it's best to use that finger because it's a less amount of pressure and tension.
I'm talking
on your eye area.
And I learned how to pat the moisturizer in every morning and night. Before I go to sleep, be careful because you hear your hair, because you want your face to be well moisturized and protected from the sun while using moisturizing exfoliant, eye, vitamin C, and
tretinoin.
And that too.
What did you say, eye?
I said pat my eye.
Oh, pat your eye. Okay, yes.
Yeah. So Gia put me through this facial regimen shit, which makes me have to wake up an additional 15 minutes early because I have to do the facial regimen before I leave in the day, because the things that make you look the oldest is the sun, because the sun is the devil. So you got to be careful with the sun, because if it's too much sun, you get lines and other stuff.
This is true. You're a good little pupil, aren't you?
Whatever.
But hold on. Before you went to sleep last night, you said that you felt really great. Like after you took your shower and you did your facial regimen, you said you felt awesome.
I did feel awesome. Might have been for other things too, but...
What do you mean?
Because you were looking sexy, so I felt awesome.
Oh,
anyway.
Okay.
But anyway, let's get the show cracking. Let's start off with something that Gia and myself were talking about yesterday, and it was the term dating your children.
Oh, that's what you want to talk about? Good topic.
Now, this came because we have 6 kids, and sometimes our kids don't get alone time with us, right? So yesterday we were out and about, and we had to pick up Jackson from school. So Gia was like, well, we should take Jackson out to eat. So my first thing was like, I bet we'll get everybody and take everybody else. She was like, no, we should just take Jackson out, and we need to, quote unquote, date our kids. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? She was like, I think we just need to take each individual kid out so they can have their time, their moment with their kids. And that's what we did yesterday. Yesterday, we picked up Jackson from school, and we got an opportunity just to sit with him for a couple of hours and just talk to him directly. No cell phone, no other kids, no baby crying. Nothing, not Mercedes calling. It was just a nice, peaceful dinner talking to Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what did you think about it, and why did you come up with the idea?
I think it's really important to, quote unquote, date your kids, because I find that when you have more than 2 kids, as a parent, you tend to lump them all in together.
Correct.
Just like what Rashawn said, that when I said, all right, let's take Jackson out to eat, he was like, oh, let's call all the kids. Let's pick them all up from home. They can miss some of their activities, and let's take them all out to eat. And it's like, whoa. When you have more than 2 kids, the attention that each child receives individually suffers. Mm-hmm. And think about it as an adult. You would never want to always be grouped in with other adults in any scenario. I think what people thrive on, probably most in this world, is attention. And I'm not talking about from an attention-starved type of perspective, but when someone is talking to you it's nice for them to receive attention, because when another person receives your attention, they feel important. They feel listened to. They feel paid attention to. They feel as though you care about them.
Mhm.
It's that type of attention that I'm referring to. And that's really what we thrive on. A lot of the emails that we get, what are people complaining about? That they're not receiving enough attention
Mhm.
from their mate. He doesn't spend enough time with me. He doesn't talk to me. He doesn't ask me questions. He's not interested in me. He doesn't date me. He doesn't take me out anymore. We don't have sex anymore. These are all various types of attention. So attention is really what makes a lot of people tick. And it's no different with children. So I don't want to lump them into a basket and always allow them to have the same experiences. Sometimes you kind of need to pinpoint each one of your children and understand what it is that makes them tick and give them that special attention. Like Brooklyn. Brooklyn is like a human rubber band. She is cut up to be damned.
Not as much as me, but she's pretty.
She could be your role model, actually. She is cut up like arms.
Logan's my role model, by the way, but go ahead.
I think he's her role model, and then you're behind the two of them.
Okay.
But arms, legs, abs, she's strong. She can walk the span of this entire house on her hands. She's very athletic, very agile, very strong. So, for instance, she loves to do things like American Ninja training at certain facilities. She loves to do dance, acro, gymnastics. She loves to do anything that would include her using her body in a very, very physical way. So if I'm dating Brooklyn.
Hold on a second. Side note, Benz, there's an American Ninja in the city. I need you to call and set an appointment up. Just for
you did tell me about
for
that.
one of the kids to go, especially Brooklyn, because she would die loving
it. It would be Brooklyn. So this is what I'm talking about, you know? So I would want to date her in the sense where I want to take her to something where it's just her, where she's doing something that really speaks to her, and we're there encouraging her, rooting for her, teaching her if it's something that we have a talent or a skill at. It's really feeding into what's important to each individual child and spending that time with them.
Well, what really made me realize it was a great idea, not when Gia said it, because I was like, all right, whatever you want to do. But what made me realize it is we went to lunch, right? And the restaurant that we went to lunch was a nice restaurant. Now, it wasn't Philippe Chow's or a Tao, but it wasn't an Applebee's or a TGI Fridays or what's the other one, the restaurant that you like that I hate?
Oh, Cheesecake Factory.
Cheesecake Factory. It wasn't like that. It was a little upscale. It was nice. And we ate there before. But today, when we went there yesterday, they had a gnat problem, right? And I know it sounds icky, right? A gnat problem. So what they do is, and this is how they explained it, twice a year, they flush out all the sewer. And when they flush out all the sewers, they have a gnat problem for a day. I guess the gnats come back up and then they leave. He said it happens every year.
It's the drains.
It's the drains.
Yeah.
So we're eating. Now, mind you, we just went to this restaurant a week ago and it was beautiful. No problems. We enjoyed our food. It was great. So now when we're going, I remember everything. Gia ordered a tuna tartare. I ordered a tuna tartare. Jackson ordered ribs. But these gnats are flying all over us to the point where I had to say, I can't eat no more. I just got to box my food up. And I was really pissed off. And usually Gia would have been pissed off, but Gia wasn't, but I was. So, I called the waiter and I said, hey, look, I'm not going to front. These gnats are really messing up my experience. I'm not enjoying my food. Can you tell the manager? The waiter comes back and says, hey, yeah, the manager said they'll take care of a dessert for you.
Like a dessert on the house.
Right. I got upset. And the reason I got upset was for two reasons. One, you're going to say, I'll take care of a dessert that I didn't order, nor did I want. Because actually, at that point, I just wanted to get out the restaurant because all these gnats were really bothering. And it got to the point where Jackson had his hood on because he's like, yo, these gnats is all over the place, right? I got mad that they said, okay, I'll offer you a dessert that you didn't order. Two, I got upset that the manager didn't come out. If there's somebody complaining about something that's wrong with a restaurant that you're managing, I feel like you should have the decency or respect because it wasn't packed to say, hey, how you doing? Yes, this is the situation. I'm sorry. How can I make this right? What do you guys need? Would you guys like a dessert? Would you want us to take care of this? Come and talk to me. He didn't. So now I'm feeling played, right? And I was a little off because usually Gia is the one that's feeling played. To the point where I'm like, you don't have a problem with this? And Gia's like, no, I understand. It's not a problem. And I'm like, nah, this is bothering me. So then I say, you know what? Call the manager. And I called the manager and then me and the manager had some words. I was very polite, very respectful, unlike me, right? Because usually when I feel like people play me, I go overboard, right? I go Butchie, right? And Butchie, if you don't know, is my dad's nickname, right? Butchie, he is like, my dad is he wilds out, like straight up and down wild card. He is one of those people you don't want to fuck with. Like, that's where that term comes from, Butchie. Like, my dad is the wild card. But I didn't. I got nice and I got respectful. And it got to the point where he was like, yeah, he walks off and says, I don't remember what.
He picked up Jackson's plate and he said, we'll take care of this for you.
Right.
And walked away.
Right. Didn't say what he'll do or nothing. So now I'm very mad. And I'm mad not because, like I said, not because I wanted a free meal. It's because I felt like you're playing me. You're disrespecting somebody that's came to this restaurant several times. My daughter and her boyfriend comes all the time. And I'm like, you don't treat people like that, especially when they're paying for food. So I'm hot. So now I'm like, I went back and I'm saying, nah, this is a little disrespectful. So I started going to how I felt. Like, you don't pay for that. I don't pay for tuna tartare and a fly. I don't pay for tuna tartare and a gnat. Like, I don't pay for that. So I started getting, very, very upset. But I was having it wasn't a nasty conversation. It was authoritative. That's what I'm looking for. Authoritative. And I made my points and you could tell that I was highly upset.
You weren't authoritative. You were actually assertive. Assertive
is the word. But the reason I'm telling you all of this is because when the guy left, Jackson was like, wow, Dad. How'd he put it? He was like, I would never stand up for myself like that. He was like, you didn't care. But what we're realizing is that children are sponges. Him seeing that, understood that if something is not right, he could speak up for himself. And that was something that he learned just from that conversation and our quote unquote dinner date. Now they wound up coming back and giving us everything free and we gave the guy a great tip, but he understood what it meant to stand up for yourself and not just falling back and not just taking shit all the time. And that came from that date. Now, I don't know if we'd have had all the kids there, if he would have actually got that because there'd been too much going on. He might have been playing with his sister. He would have been on his phone because I'm sure somebody would have been bugging him. But the fact that we were all there together and he was in the moment, he understood that. And he was just like, Dad, you were right. Yeah, you don't let nobody take advantage of you. Yeah, Dad, you were right. Yeah, we paid for this food. It shouldn't be any flies and gnats. But I think he got that because it was just the three of us there.
It was more of an intimate setting.
Correct.
It was just the three of us. So he was really sitting there soaking it all in. And I guess kind of in awe of how it was happening and what was transpiring. Basically, seeing the fact that something that wasn't above board was going on, and to see his dad stand up for himself and to stand up for the situation. And why I guess there was like a point, because when the manager came, he came with an explanation, but he didn't come with a resolution. So just like Rashawn said, it's a nice restaurant. We're sitting down and the gnats, and there were many, it was like 10 gnats that were flying around during our entire meal where we just wanted to get up and leave.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't want to sit there and enjoy our food. So that there's this issue. When we sat down, they didn't say, hey, here's a heads up. This is what's going on. It was just handled inappropriately and it affected our experience. So if I were a manager, if this were my establishment, I would come and say, I'm so sorry that you guys had to deal with this. How can I make it right? How can, I make it so that you'll leave feeling that you had a good experience and that you were taken care of? And that just wasn't the energy that we were met with.
No.
We were met with more of an explanation. Oh, well, we're clearing the drains. And so that's why. But we're sitting there waiting for the and what? And just like you said, the dessert that we didn't order, nor did we want, wouldn't have been that. It would have been, okay, well, I'll take this off of the bill, or maybe the next time you come, or, something. And we just didn't, that energy wasn't there. It was just telling us the reason why. So that was a little off-putting to us. Mm-hmm. So Jackson realized that. He understood that. And just like Rashawn said, if it were all of our kids, our whole gaggle, he would have been distracted and whatnot. So it's nice when you just have little micro experiences with your children where you can really connect and they can pick things up from you and you can understand them better.
And not only that, so we're talking about dating our kids and the reason why and why you should date your kids. I'm not going to lie. When Gia goes out with her girls, sometimes I like to take the kids out, right? And it's for the same reason. The experiences that they have with dad is not like experiences they have with mom, and it's not the experiences we have together. When we all go out, Gia and I, or if we're bowling, Gia and I are bowling in one lane, the kids bowling in that lane. Yes, we're with the kids and we're enjoying them and we're talking to them. But when mom's not there, I'm the only focus point. And it's like vomit. They throw up everything on me personally. But I think it's great because they get that time. And especially with me, because I'm not here in the morning when mommy's doing their hair and they're laying in the bed. I'm not here on the weekends a lot of times when I'm out doing the show and they're watching movies with mom. So that time, that personal time with the father and with the mother, I think it's needed, even when it's something small. Women, take your daughters out to get their nails done. Fathers, take your daughters out to get your nails done. That little bit of time was just daddy and mommy, daddy and daughter time, or daddy and son time. I think it's well needed. We do it a lot. We have never dated our kids individually like that. But I always take the kids somewhere. It's like, I'll take Jackson to the game. I'll take the girls here. But I think that individual time is like no other. It opens their mind to ask a million and one questions, especially questions that they wanted to ask that maybe they just never had an opportunity to. If your kids are like my kids, it's just like they spit things out, just out of left field. It's the weirdest thing. But I think it just builds on their brain. It builds on their mindset. It makes them smarter. It allows them to give them the confidence to ask questions that they probably wouldn't answer or ask, I should say. So definitely, if you get an opportunity, definitely date your kids.
Definitely date your kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, before we get to the, pillow talk, I want to talk about our experience in the city. So every once in a while, Gia comes up with this idea where she wants to do a lot of tourist shit, right? I hate it, but I never tell her no because she's my wife. The other day, I'm not even saying the other day, the last couple of weeks, Gia's been on this shit about, let's go see the lights in the city. Let's go to the Rockefeller tree. Let's go see the lights in the buildings in the city. Let's go this, that, and the other. And me personally, I hate it. I don't want to go. And not that.
Oh, this is the first time you're expressing that.
Not that I don't want to spend
time. So they
time.
find out that you hate it before I do?
Not that I don't want to spend time with my wife and kids. Is I hate it and I know exactly what it is. But you're also talking to somebody that's out all the time. I'm in the city every day. So I know what I'm expecting. They don't, right? So Gia says, let's go to the city. Okay. I want to see all these. I want to see the lights. I want to go to Bryant Park. I want to go ice skating. I want to do this. I said, sure, babe, whatever you want to do. So we get the gaggle of kids. We throw them in the car and we drive to the city. Now, we live about, I would say maybe in the morning is about 25 minutes to the city. On a regular day, maybe 35 minutes from the city. On Sunday, it takes us 2 hours to get to the city. So now we're in
Sunday during Christmas season.
That she wanted to go see the lights. 2 hours to the city. Okay. So already I'm tired. I'm sleepy by then. We park. We all get out. So now you're in the city. And if you've ever been in Manhattan, you know it's difficult to get around. Christmas time, way worse. So now we stop at Bryant Park. Bryant Park's on 42nd Street. 42nd Street, somewhere around there. We walk through the little shops at Bryant Square.
It's like a Christmas village where they have little shops where they're selling all different things, and there's little food shops.
All types of bullshit.
They're selling all
Somebody's
different
drawing
types
names
of food.
on loose leaf, and they be like, $4. Like that's what it is.
No, there's food, there's hot cocoa, there's ice skating. It's an experience.
All right, so we walk through the Christmas village to the ice skating, which is $65 a person. $65 a person. Mommy, Daddy, Madison, London, Jackson, Brooklyn, Baby Peyton. 7. $65 a person. Ice skating. Hot chocolate. Okay, cool. So we're there for about walking through the village and seeing that stuff for maybe 30, 40 minutes. Then they say, let's go look at the tree. Okay. The tree is 9 blocks away. Now, this is not...
Is it 9?
Yes. This is not... Or 8 blocks away. Now, this is not small blocks like you're used to. This is large blocks, right? The kid's like, let's drive. I'm like, you can't drive. It's Christmas and it's holidays in the city. We have to walk. Okay. So now we're walking, right?
Did anyone complain?
Yes. Me.
Oh.
So now, of course, the baby doesn't want to walk. So now the baby's on my shoulder. So now my shoulder hurts the whole time. And then Gia, what happened to Gia was so delightful. Tell you what happened. So Gia wore short socks. Gia had boots on. You and I both know if you're walking for a while and you have short socks and you have boots on, the back of the boot starts to rub in your heel. Her heel was on fire. Yeah, her heel was on fire. right? So now she's done. She halfway don't want to walk anymore because she's like, fuck this shit. But she can't because she already promised the kids we got to go see this tree.
I will endure the pain. It's quite all right.
So as we walk by every person in the city, there's like Minnie Mouse, there's Mickey Mouse, there's the Grinch, there's Santa. They're all asking for, hey, do you want this picture? My kids are all waving to them. And all I'm thinking about is, I got my wallet in my back pocket. I want none of these people to try to pickpocket me. And in New York City, they have all these, I want to say, installations outside of these buildings. So there's the Jingle Ball installation where it's the ornaments and you can take pictures outside the ornaments. There's all these little trees, all these different things that are decorated that every time we get to one, Gia wants to take a picture. Every single one. But mind you, Esta's not answering his phone. We'll talk about that while later. So we have to ask random people in the city, hey, can you take this picture of us? But at the same time, I'm looking at him because I'm like, damn, this motherfucker might run. I got to chase this nigga with my phone. So every time, yeah, can you take this picture for us? Hey, can you take this picture for us? Hey, can you take this picture? Now, we don't know how many pictures they're taking. They don't know how to take pictures. One guy took a picture, his thumb's in the middle of it. But anyway, so we do all that till we get to the block of the tree. We walk up to the tree. We see this tree. The tree looks like any tree that's in your forest, your woods, your backyard. The lights were up there. The kid looked at it, no lie, for 2 seconds like this. Wow, nice tree. All right, where to next? Then we had to walk all the way back. And you know what the kids wanted? Out of all that? McDonald's. This is what McDonald's. Now, mind you, we could have went to McDonald's, which is 3 minutes away over here, and said, hey, look at this tree right there. But no, then we had to drive 2 hours back. And then when we drove 2 hours back, you know what everybody did? Everybody slept. So that was our experience of holiday fun in New York City. Now, there's an ice skating rink right down the road. Now how much the ice skating ring is? $19.99. Not only that, the American Dream. Salute to Keisha at American Dream. They had an ice skating rink for 7 years. We have never went, and we could have probably went there for free. But no. Gia wanted to ice skate in Bryant Park, which is small, which is a bunch of people. And we had such a lovely time.
Apparently not you.
But that was tradition.
I thought we had a good time. I thought we had a good time. Wow, tell me how you really feel.
And you know what? We have videos of some of this, so maybe we can install some of the videos that you took and all these people that took that we didn't know.
Maybe I'll put together a little vlog about it.
Okay.
They could see exactly how miserable of a time we apparently had.
The kid's like, smile. If she did this one, wave.
That's not wow, that's how I sounded. That's how I told everybody wave.
We had the hot dog cart. Gia's like, look mad. We're like, matter. So you did.
I did not sound like that. Why are you making it sound like
all right, Joe Jackson.
a Mussolini or
Joe Jackson.
Napoleon Bonaparte?
More like Joe Jackson.
Or Joe. They're all, probably from the same mindset.
All right.
Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. So I wanted to go to the city because
Yeah.
You want an angry wife or you want a happy wife? Which one will suit you better?
Which one will be better?
Which one's a little bit more?
Which one's gonna be better in bed?
I think an angry wife is
All right,
better in bed.
Let's go angry. Let's go angry.
Yeah, I think so. I wanted to go to the city because tell me if you guys feel the same way. When you live in New York City, people come from all over the world to come to New York City.
We've been in New York over 40 years of our lives.
Here's the point. But when you live in New York City, you take it all for granted. And it's no big deal.
I don't take it for granted. I drive by it. That's it.
No, it's no big deal. Like years ago,
I don't want to go to the Statue of Liberty. I don't want to see the Empire State.
I came up with a great idea. Like, let's do a staycation. Because as a New York City born and raised girl, I'd never been to the Empire State Building. People come from all over the world to see the Empire State Building. I'd never been there.
And what did you see when you seen it?
It was underwhelming, just like the tree at Rockefeller Center.
It's a building. That's all it is. It's a tall building.
Regardless.
It's not even the tallest building in the world.
Regardless, I'd never been there. I might have gone to Statue of Liberty on like a 4th grade class trip. But I said, you know what? Let's also go to the Statue of Liberty. Let's take the kids. Let's go and have tea at the plaza. Let's take the kids. It's a historic and iconic hotel. Let's do that. Let's go on a horse and carriage ride through Central Park. We did that. That's actually how Rashawn proposed to me. But I had done it one time before, many, many moons ago with you. And I thought it would be nice to take the kids on a horse and carriage ride. And we did all types of other things on this 3-day staycation. We did FAO, we did the rock, we did everything. And it was nice because you really take advantage, you take for granted what New York City has to offer. Christmas is hands down my favorite time of year. As soon as this camera goes off, I'm going upstairs and I am wrapping presents till the wee hours of the morning. This is what I love. And I want to instill that joy in my kids. I want them to feel that happy. I want them to feel that joy. I want to immerse them in that. So I told him last month, I said, listen, December, every weekend, we're doing every Christmassy thing that New York and New Jersey has to offer. Yes, we're going to go through the little drive-through, the lights thing. We're going to go to the thing at the South Street Seaport. Yeah, I found the tickets for that. So you thought that they didn't do it anymore. They do. We're going to do that next weekend. I just wanted to do some of the traditional things like seeing the tree at Rockefeller Center, which we've seen before because it's right outside of FAO Schwartz and it's right outside the ice skating rink that's at Rockefeller Center. But we never went there deliberately to see it. We might have been going toy shopping at FAO Schwartz and the tree was there like, oh, I never really paid that much attention to it. Or we were ice skating the trees. Oh, beautiful. Nice. But to go there just for that was like, I didn't really get it, whatever. But the point is the kids had a wonderful time. I don't care how he and I feel about anything. The only thing that I care about is the happiness and the joy of my children. And they were like, wow. Can we get cotton candy? Can we get hot chocolate?
Nah, that's
Can we get? Of course, you're going to talk about the money, the $26 hot dog. Be quiet.
No,
I want to talk about that.
I'm talking about homie selling cotton candy. It ain't like it's a cotton candy stand. It's homie selling cotton candy.
Homie couldn't have worked there. If it was a cotton candy stand, you wouldn't be like, homie was working at the cotton candy.
I don't know where that cotton candy came from. It could have been cocaine in that cotton candy.
I wasn't interested in all of the open fruit that they were strangely selling on the street, like all the mango and the apples. That was strange.
Gia buys cotton candy from homie on the street, just walking down with that thing.
It'll be all right. It'll be all right. As long as it didn't have salmonella on it, they will survive. But the kids had an amazing time. They were like, thank you so much. The lights were so beautiful. We really enjoy the Christmas spirit. What are we doing next? So you could have despised it. You could have been tired. You could have fought through the traffic. You could have seen me walking with a hurt foot. None of it matters because the kids had a great time. Do you disagree?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I agree. The kids
selfish.
The kids had a great time. They absolutely positively did. And now, let's go to, you ready to go to Pillow Talk or you want to hear what I have? One last thing I have to say.
I always want to hear what you have to say.
Okay. So now the staycation, while I'll never do a staycation again, like she said, staycation, we stay in New York City. M&M's, $40. Hot dogs, $40.
It's always gonna circle back to money with him.
And my
always.
If we're gonna spend that much money on a staycation, we might as well just went to Florida.
We might as well just went on a vacation.
We might as well went on a vacation.
It wasn't about money. We didn't stay because of financial constraints. We stayed because I wanted the kids to experience where they live. Like we never walked our kids through Times Square. So it was nice to walk them through Times Square.
They drove through it before. They drove. Hey, windows down.
It's a different experience when you walk
back
through
up.
it.
Let's keep it moving.
So I'll say one more thing, and then let's go to Pillow Talk. I am a very experience-driven type of person. If we go on vacation, when we get back, you're going to need a vacation. I have to go on vacation with me because I have every single hour of every single day planned, and I'm going to maximize our time spent on any trip that we go on because I love what experiences give us. I love memories. Like that's the most important thing to me. Like spending time with my family, doing crazy things, adventurous things, fun things that if it's with you, romantic. I love having my heart filled with joy of memories from things that we've experienced together. So that is the reason why.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get to pillow talk.
What's in, what's out, what's up, what's down, who's trending? I wanna know now. Can we talk? Can we pillow talk now? Can we talk? Let's pillow talk now.
Now, today's pillow talk conversation, I want to discuss something I seen online that I didn't like, and I'm curious to get your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about Brian Thompson, right? Rest in peace, Brian Thompson. Brian Thompson was the CEO of United Health that was killed in Manhattan a couple of weeks ago.
Overnight, Manhattan prosecutors filing a murder charge against Luigi Mangione for last week's shooting of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, gunned down in the streets of Midtown Manhattan as he was visiting for a conference. Police launching a multi-state manhunt. A senior law enforcement official confirming to NBC News that a handwritten note saying in part, "These parasites had it coming," was recovered. The 26-year-old suspect was captured Monday, recognized by an employee at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania, 5 days after the murder and 280 miles away. Police say Mangione's identity was not on their radar until the sighting.
We did not have his name prior to today.
Officer Tyler Fry, just 6 months on the job, responded with his partner.
He was wearing a blue medical mask. As soon as we pulled that down, or we asked him to pull it down, me and my partner and I recognized him immediately.
The arresting officers asking him if he had been in New York City recently.
He became visibly nervous, kind of shaking at that question.
According to the complaint, Mangione initially gave police a fake New Jersey driver's license, the same one police say was used to book a room at a Manhattan hostel. The charging documents also revealing when officers searched his backpack, they found a black 3D printed pistol and silencer. Mangione was born and raised in Maryland, his last known address in Hawaii. The high school valedictorian later graduated from the Ivy League school UPenn in 2020 with a master's degree in computer science. The Mangione family reacting to the news, writing they're shocked and devastated by Luigi's arrest and extending their prayers to the Thompson family. The case sparking global interest and some online backlash against the insurance industry. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro speaking out overnight.
I understand people have real frustration with our healthcare system. This killer is being hailed as a hero. Hear me on this. He is no hero. The real hero in this story is the person who called 911.
United Health Group, the parent company to United Healthcare, released a statement overnight saying that they hope this arrest provides at least some relief for family and friends. We also know that he will be in court again for his next scheduled court appearance on December 23rd.
They finally found the killer.
Well, they found
The killer.
the suspect.
No, well, the
He's
suspect.
not found guilty, so
Well,
you
yeah.
can't call him the killer.
Okay, they finally found the suspect. And the suspect, they said that he pulled this off. They don't understand why. He's a very educated individual. He went to University of Pennsylvania, which is an Ivy League school. He was like class.
His valedictorian of his high school class.
Yes. Very bright kid. Everybody said he was super duper smart.
Computer
They said his
whiz.
family is very wealthy. They own a lot of real estate, a lot of different businesses. Do very well. The gun that he has was a ghost gun, so it was a printed gun. There was no serial numbers, so it couldn't be traced.
That's crazy that you can make a gun with a 3D printer.
Yes. So my question to you is, after he killed this individual, people are now calling this man a hero. Like, people are actually following him. Girls and guys are saying he's sexy, he's hot, and they are really loving him.
Yeah.
They feel like United Health and a lot of these healthcare companies have turned down a lot of people when it comes to getting services that people need that could possibly save their life. They don't have a motive as of yet. They're still breaking down some of the things because he actually wrote a 2-page reasoning of why he did it. So my question to you is,
What is that called? Like, I could be wrong. Is that called like a manifesto?
Manifesto, yeah.
Right?
Manifesto of the reason why he did it. Now, my question to you is, people are happy in seeing that that the world deserved this and that he is fighting back for the people. I didn't like it, and I'll tell you why I didn't like it. To me, he's a vigilante, right? He's putting the law in his own hands, and he's hurting somebody who has 2 kids, has a wife, has a family. And I'm almost 1,000%. The guy that he shot, the CEO, wasn't there with a stamp talking about decline, approved, decline, approved. That wasn't his job. He's running the company, running the employees, making sure paychecks are there and all that other stuff. So people are very riding for this guy, saying what he did was right. And I don't like that. Because at the end of the day, if you give people a power to do things on their own and they don't have all the information that's needed, it causes something that's very scary, you know? Because at the end of the day, you know, it's almost like saying that he's God. At the end of the day, he's the trial, he's the jury, he's the deliberations, and at the end of the day, he's the one that's going to do the killing. And I don't like that. And I don't like the fact that people are saying that that's good for this man to die. I don't like the fact that they're saying that's good because the health companies are getting over on people. And even if the health companies are getting over on people, that does not mean that that man should have died at 6:45 a.m. during rush hour in New York City in front of so many different people, traumatized in front of so many people. What is your thoughts on it?
Just like you said, who knows? Maybe it is true. Maybe the healthcare system, the insurance companies are getting over on your average everyday person.
I think they are. No, they absolutely are. There are people that paid insurance for 20 years and then when they have a procedure, they get declined. There are people that, you know, I mean, you know, and I know we go to the health, we go to get things done sometimes, and sometimes our health coverage says, no, we're not covering that. And these are things that are actually needed. But the other day, you know, I'm sorry to cut you off. Madison has headaches and she went to the doctor and the doctor was like, all right, we'll take this. It was aspirin. They didn't even do the proper x-rays because it was like, well, you have to go 3 times before you actually get an x-ray. I'm like, what the fuck is that? By the 3rd time, I could be dead. Do the fucking x-ray now. Thank God we have the means to actually do it, but a lot of people don't. And I don't think that's right. And I don't think that's fair. So yes, the healthcare companies are getting over people. And it's not right. But that man didn't need to lose his life over.
I haven't studied the healthcare system. I know that in my daily life and the life of my children, there are things that I do not like and where I feel as though I'm underserved as someone that pays insurance every month. However, I don't know what their business model is based upon. I don't know how their businesses work, how they make money, why certain things are turned down. I haven't studied that. So I can't have an informed opinion when it's not something that I've researched. All that I can say is that I personally have felt underserved. And I'm sure that many, many, many people have also felt underserved, as though you pay for insurance every month and you can't get insulin needles for your child that has diabetes. They'll pay for the insulin, but not pay for the needles, for instance. And that can be very, very frustrating. And clearly, well, not clearly, because I don't know exactly what was in his manifesto, if that's even what you call it. I don't know what his motivation was. As soon as that man was murdered and we found out who the man was and what his profession was, the first thing that I said to Rashawn, and have you told the story about?
No, we're not going to.
Okay. Okay. As soon as we found out who was murdered, I said it was probably someone who either themselves was slighted by the healthcare system or the insurance system.
I guess you know what? I apologize. Yeah, we can tell it now because he's caught. So we can tell it now.
Okay, so wait, when I'm done, you can tell the story.
You can tell it now.
I said, I bet that it's someone that was probably slighted by their insurance company or whose loved one was slighted by their insurance company. And then lo and behold, the words that were etched onto the bullet casings or the bullets themselves, either way, were, what was it?
I don't remember the words.
It was 3 words that represent, if I'm not mistaken, 3 words that represent what the insurance company tells you when you're denied a claim or when you're denied privilege to have your insurance needs met. So, and that seems to be what the motivation was for the killing. Okay. So we've covered that. Yes, people feel slighted. People feel underserved. You and I as well. Does that give you the right to commit murder?
No.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Does it surprise me that people are rooting for him and claiming that he's a hero and saying that this type of justice is a type of justice that needs to be served? It's all ridiculous. But I also am very clear that many people are demented and many people many people, like there's God and there's Satan. If you're rooting for murder, if you don't value another human being's life, even if they do make bad decisions, then who leads you? Like who's leading you? There are so many people that serial killers, Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, the Zodiac killer, that receive fan mail. Women that have fallen in love with them through the TV screens. I mean, people are demented.
Yeah.
So because he has fans and people, waving poster boards and saying whatever, like, what does that mean? Like, there's just so much negativity and hate and evil in this world. And if you give those people a platform, then you'll be in a situation where you're led to believe that that's normal. And I just feel as though people need to think for themselves and they need to block all of that negative energy, because to answer your question, that means nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It means nothing.
Well, what Gia was talking about was, so what a murder actually happened is a couple of blocks away from where we do the Breakfast Club. And that morning, every morning, I park in a lot and I go to work. That morning, a friend of mine was using my truck. And I was using his truck. That morning when I parked the car, usually when I leave and your phone is plugged in, the truck says, "You're forgetting your phone." And I never forget my phone. I take the phone and keep it. This day, since I'm driving his truck, I walk out and do the show. We have a big break between 6:35 and 6:50 every morning at the Breakfast Club. I left my phone in the car the first time in 3 years. So I walk downstairs to go get the phone. We have security outside of the Breakfast Club. I'm waiting for the securities in the car. He's not expecting me to come out at this time. So I'm waiting for him to get out the car. We walk. Now, to get to my car, we have to either walk through a parking garage or a courtyard. That morning, we walked through the courtyard. And when we walked through the courtyard, there's a guy sitting in the courtyard with a hood on, and he's just scrunched out low.
A backpack.
In a backpack, of course. Now, when we see the guy in the courtyard, it just looks strange. And I'm going to tell you why. It's 6:30 in the morning. Now, usually when you see people in that courtyard, they're usually eating because it's usually lunchtime. They're smoking weed because it's a place where you can go downstairs and smoking weed or cigarettes. Or every once in a while, there's usually a homeless person in the courtyard, but usually they get the homeless people out that courtyard fast. So when I see him, I'm like, this guy's weird because he's just sitting there on his own. To the point where when we walk past him and I get my phone, I tell the cop with security, I'm like, let's not go back to the courtyard. Let's go through the garage. We get the phone. We go back through the garage and I go upstairs. Within that 30 seconds, that's when the murder happened. So it feels like, and it seems like, and it probably is, the guy that was actually sitting there with the backpack was the guy that actually killed Brian Thompson. He was actually sitting there, I believe, waiting for Brian Thompson to walk across the street from his hotel to that and actually killed him right then and there. The reason I say that's very scary is because, one, I never leave my phone. Two, if the guy that I was with, the police officer that I was with, would have seen that guy pulled out that gun, the cop that I was with probably would have pulled out his gun. They probably would have been shooting at each other in the city. Now I'm there, so I could have got shot. But it was within 30 seconds that really happened, probably 20 seconds. The shooting happened at 6:44. We walked back in the building at probably 6:44. So we probably passed each other and didn't even see what was going on. That's what Gil was saying. And the reason I said I never told the story is I'm like, I never want this guy to think I seen his face and was like, I got to come back and get me. So that's why we never said the story. We never shared it on the Breakfast Club. We never talked about it at all because we just didn't know. Now that they apprehended the guy, it's a little different now I can tell the story. But just saying that there were so many people on that street that morning. And there's so many people always on the street. I mean, it's right by the Hilton Hotel. People are coming up and down. There's so much truck deliveries. There's people walking, smoking cigarettes, drinking coffee. It's 6:45 in New York City in the morning. People are getting their ass to work. And the fact that he did that and could have shot anybody is very scary. So the people that think he's a vigilante and they love him and they're showing him so much love and they think he's sexy and, oh my gosh, he's a hero. I think you guys need to reevaluate life because that's not
people
heroic.
don't value life.
That's not heroic at all.
People don't value life. It's like that notion, like people die every day, B. Like, I don't think that people put enough thought and value into what a life actually means. And I think about it all the time. I think about it all the time when murders occur. And it's like, wow, when someone loses their life, they lose all of the potential that existed for them to be this or to be that, to get married, to be a grandparent, to be a parent, let alone a grandparent, to see your first child be born or to see your fifth child be born or to see a grandchild be born, to travel, to experience love, to see different things. You take away all of that potential, all of that life. It just feels overly simplified in our world. And it's a shame because even me, when someone passes away, and you guys know I'm always on my Newsbreak app or on the news itself, and it's just it's so heartbreaking, and it's just so many murders happen. People lose their lives. It's like you almost become desensitized to it, and I just feel as though we don't take enough time to really appreciate a life that's lost. And I'm guilty of feeling so much worse for the family that's left behind, the family and the friends that's left behind. But we need to pay more attention to all of the potential of life and the contribution, the existence of a human being that is snuffed out. Regardless of whether this man was complicit in decision making that is affecting the world or people that pay into his insurance company, whatever the situation, even if that's the truth, for another human to decide his fate, it's just a wild concept.
I agree.
I
agree. Well, let's get to the email of the week.
If you don't know what to do or think, put it in a letter, just send it. We'll read it in the email of the week. The email of the week.
All right. Now, we talked about this before, but I just find this one of the funniest emails ever because this is something we talked about years and years ago. And if you're a new follower, a new listener, this is what you'll understand. And Gia will get it as soon as I start talking about it. Hey, Gia. Hi, Benz. I have a relationship question. I work in corporate America and do well for myself. My ex and I went on vacation. I booked a flight with my status. The airline made a mistake on spelling of his name. When they fixed it, he was no longer aligned with my status. On the flight home, I was upgraded to first class. Since he wasn't attached to my status, he didn't receive the upgrade with me. Was I wrong for keeping my upgrade? Now, we talked about this before because this has happened to us many a times. A lot of times I have a higher status with Delta when it comes to flying. Gia doesn't have the status. They'll upgrade me. We'll get one flight or one seat that's upgraded and somebody has to sit in the back with the kids. So I'll tell you what we usually do. Usually, there's two ways we can handle it. Sometimes if we're with one of our kids, like Madison or Logan, or older kid, we'll put them in the front and allow them to have first class. If we can see them, we might even put London in first class and let her have that first class experience. Or put one of Jackson in first class and let them have that experience. We've done that before. Also, if it's a long flight, usually, well, I'm not going to say usually, but it's a long flight, my legs are a lot longer than Gia's. So for me, flying is a lot more uncomfortable with my legs. So if that's the case, I think that we should not sacrifice the person that is really out there, working.
With the long legs.
With the long legs.
The long legs.
So I would usually sit in first class and Gil would sit in the back by the bathroom. But it depends on what it is. But there's been times when Gil sat in the first, but usually we let one of the kids sit in first class, or I usually take the first class seat, not because I'm higher on the Delta level, but usually because I have longer legs and it's more uncomfortable for me to sit in the back. Gil usually doesn't care. What do you say? So, to answer your question, I'm sorry. Now, when you talk about, I want to make sure that it's your husband, right? You said, I'm in a relationship. All right. Now, if it's you and your boo going on vacation, I would think flying is part of the experience, honestly, right? Because you're sitting next to each other. I think the fact that you took the upgrade and left him in the back of the plane on the way back on a vacation is wild. Right?
Wait, she was asking, or she said that's what she did?
She asked, and she said, was she wrong for taking the upgrade?
Oh,
So I think you were wrong for taking the upgrade because when you're traveling with your boo, I think
it's like Eddie Murphy in, was it Delirious or Raw? I don't remember. Don't let us all suffer.
Oh, throw down your wallet, right?
Throw down your wallet. If y'all saw Delirious or Raw, whichever one it was,
Right.
then you get
know
it.
exactly what it was. But, she's right. But I feel like, no, I say she's wrong. Sorry.
The house was on fire, right?
It was like,
and they were screaming from the street, like to Eddie, I think, right? Throw down your wallet. Like, don't let us all suffer. Like, you're going to die. You're in the burning building. At least throw down your wallet so we can at least halfway benefit. Don't let the wallet burn too.
Yes.
So it's kind of like the same way of looking at it.
Women expect, if they in a burning building, for you to come in that motherfucker and get them. If they, oh baby, the fire, fire. I'm like, I'm sorry. I loved you. I throw you a water bottle cold for your neck. Spray that on your neck. Keep the fire off your neck. Cause let your ass be in a burning building. They can see the fire on your ass. You baby. Oh, baby, the fire. Baby. Throw down your wallet. Your wallet. Don't let us all suffer. They ain't coming in that motherfucker getting you, man.
right. So if you're on a vacation and you with your boo and you get upgraded, the right thing to do is make somebody's day special, right? You go to the person sitting next to your boo and say, hey, I have first class. You take my first class seat. I will take your seat. Because part of the trip is snuggling on the plane, talking on the plane, joking on the plane.
You're a dirty liar. How dare you say that?
What?
Dirty. You're just going to sit here and misrepresent yourself and your reality to the fine people?
What do you mean?
As soon as those legs go up, the legs don't even have to go up. As soon as you sit down and adjust your neck, you're snoring within 12 seconds. Part of the experience is snuggling with your boo, talking to your boo, conversing with your boo. Lies. You don't converse, snuggle, or talk to any. You might lay on me, but we sure as hell ain't snuggling. Because you just go straight the hell to sleep. Ain't no experience traveling with you on a plane.
I'm talking about them. when don't I not go to sleep?
This is the point.
When don't I
part of the experience? You're going to sit here and misrepresent yourself to these fine people? Absolutely not.
I'm just saying, like, for instance, Mercedes recently went on a trip, right? Now, Mercedes, if you got an upgrade, she said, I'm taking it. That's foul.
For real? You would really take it?
She said, no, she's not taking it because she understands that part of the trip is...
You're just talking about for everybody except you.
I sleep.
This is everybody except you.
I'm not afraid to say I fall asleep in seconds.
12 seconds flat.
I'm not
snoring.
You understand? Gia can watch a full gladiator movie where they're killing people and making loud noises. Gia can watch a porn on that screen on HD. All the kids could be in the room and Gia could be beatboxing. They could be doing karaoke in our room.
Oh, I thought you meant kids in the room while watching.
No,
that was
just
weird.
doing
Weird.
doing different scenarios.
Okay.
Gia could be vacuuming the floor.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping. I won't wake up. I won't hear anything. It's
True.
just, it is what it is. Certain things I hear. The alarm door, I hear. When I hear beep, 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 beep.
When it threatens your safety.
When it's, I wake up. But now Gia vacuuming, I won't wake up. So I'm just saying, I think it was wrong for you to do that. I think you should have gave the upgrade to somebody else and you should have, shared the time with your boo. He might not have been mad. He might not have showed he was mad, but he was really upset and he looked at you different afterwards. What do you think?
I think he definitely looked at her different afterwards. I mean, I wouldn't do that. When we're in that type of situation, because Rashawn's a Diamond member. He flies
every weekend.
Every weekend. He flies every weekend. So he's a Diamond member. So he gets all types of perks and advantages. And we've gotten to a point where we don't even buy first class flights anymore because an upgrade to first class is almost expected.
Correct.
It's par for the course, right? So listen, true talk. Rashawn is far more of a diva than I am. Okay. I can suffer and have no problem like that. I'll just eat it. Like, I'm not a big complainer. Like, whatever is okay with me. I can fly coach. I can fly Delta Comfort. I am quite all right with it, unless I'm flying like across the seas, or if it's anything over like a 6-hour flight, then that's where I draw the line. But if I'm traveling to California, like I can do it. He, on the other hand,
Not moi.
would never.
Not moi.
Would never. He would hop on a pole.
Would never.
He would hop on a pole to afford a plane ticket if necessary. If it meant that he was flying to California.
Oh, I have to take this call. I'm so sorry. 1 second.
Is this a joke?
Yeah, no, I really have to take this call. Hello?
What the hell is really going
What's up?
on?
Bro, I'm taping a podcast, but my son is on my ass about Bryson Tiller and Rolling Loud.
Oh, I guess he has to take this call.
Yeah, he go to school in Miami.
Christmas is coming up. All Logan wants is experiences. He doesn't want.
Yeah, he just want to pass. He want to be on. Yeah, he want to be on the the artist stage. So he was like, "Can you call and see if you could get it?" I was like, "Let me call my guy."
To sporting events. He wants to go to concerts and whatnot.
All right, perfect. It's two people, him and his girl. They just want to go. I bet.
Logan doesn't have a girl right now.
No, he doesn't have a girl, but it's him and his boy. But he was like, "Dad, if you say me and my girl, they'll get the tickets easier." But him and his homie want to go. They're going together.
Okay.
Yeah, but I had to take that because you don't understand. Logan, and with side note, lady, you were wrong. But let me just say about Logan. Logan is the DJ Khaled of annoying, right? And salute to DJ Khaled. When I say DJ Khaled of annoying, Khaled is the person, when he wants something, he'll call you 1,000 times. If Khaled wants Envy, I need you to play a song or whatever it is, Khaled is persistent. And you can't take that away from Khaled. I love the fact that Khaled is that. Logan is Khaled times 30.
You have no idea.
Because Logan will call people he does not know. Like, it's crazy. So for instance, right?
Logan is shameless. Have you ever met someone that's shameless, meaning they have no shame? There is no pride. There is no ego. If they want something, they are going to go for it. They are going to ask you. They are going to annoy you. They are going to push and press and press and push until they get what they need. That is Logan.
Right? So let me tell you, salute to Rohan Marley. Rohan Marley is, of course, Bob Marley's son. We know him. We've stayed at his resort in
Puerto Morelos
in Mexico. Really cool. He played for University of Miami, the Hurricanes. He knows that Logan plays. So he goes to the game. He checks Logan out, says what's up to Logan. Logan got his number. I don't know how. Don't know. Rohan, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And Logan calls him.
We didn't give it to him.
No, I swear. I didn't give him your number, bro. Logan calls him all the time for everything. When I say everything, he'll just see Rohan at a restaurant and be like, "Yo, bro, can you get me in the restaurant?" Like, that is Logan. Now, to the point, I spoke to him today. I'm like, he was like, "Yeah, YG is performing at Roll Loud." I'm like, "Okay." He goes, "I called Rohan Marley and asked for tickets." I'm like, "You don't know him." He's like, "Yeah, I know, but I just asked him anyway." And I'm like, "Logan, you can't do that." He's like, "Nah, he said he got me." And I'm like, "Are you sure YG Marley is performing and not YG the rapper from the West Coast?" He goes, "Good question, Dad. Let me find out." But that is Logan.
He thought, so wait, YG is his
brother.
So he thought that Rohan's brother was performing.
Which he is. He is. We figured it out.
Oh, so it was his brother that's performing. You thought it was YG the rapper.
From the West Coast, right.
Okay. But
right.
he didn't check that out before he asked.
So the reason I say that is Logan must have called me 3,242 times today about getting these passes for Rolling Loud. And if he doesn't call me, he'll call his mom. And if his mom doesn't call...
I curved him like 26 times today.
He calls the BFF.
I checked his
Mercedes.
I checked his Life 360. I was like, okay, he's in his apartment, which means he's safe. I do not need to pick up.
He calls Mercedes more than he calls me and you.
Is this right?
Yes. Like I call Mercedes his other mom. Like he calls Mercedes so damn much. I'm to the point where I'm like, I just said the other day, stop calling Mercedes.
Let me tell you about my persistent ass son. If I have a problem with Logan, okay, and we get into a thing where I have to tell him about himself, I'm one of those people, when I'm done talking to you, I'm done talking to you.
He's not done.
He's never done. He will call me back literally 32 times, back to back to back. Like, Mom, I know you're ignoring me. I know you're ignoring me. I know you're ignoring me. Where it's like, I'll send him a text. Like, if you call me one more time, I am blocking you.
And she blocks him.
How many times have I blocked Logan?
She blocks him, then Logan blocks his number and starts calling even more.
Then he calls me on no caller ID. And I have to text him like, do you not realize that I know that it's you calling me on no caller ID? Like, it's obvious. I'll be like, let me Google how to block no caller ID.
Let me tell you. But Gia is such a sucker, right? And I know we have to go, and I'll just end it with this story. Gia is such a sucker for Logan. The other day we were dating our other kid, Madison. We were out with Madison, right? Logan calls. He's on speaker. He's like, Mom, this, that, and the other, yada, 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 having a conversation. So Gia's like, look, we're pulling up to the restaurant. I have to call you back, Logan. He goes, Mom, you can't talk to me for a minute, though? Right? The car gets quiet. He's on speaker. It's me, Gia, Madison. It's quiet. You don't have a second just to talk until you go into the restaurant? And that's his voice, I swear to God. It was, you don't have just a second from me, Mom? Right? He goes, all right. All right, Ma, so like I was saying, me and Madison just started laughing. She is such a sucker for that boy. Such a sucker. Like a sucker.
Okay, they get it. They get it.
For that boy. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. I thought I had gear wrapped around my pinky. That boy got gear wrapped around everything. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
That's my little baby.
But that is like,
I love that boy. Okay. I love all my kids.
But that's why I took the phone call, because if not, Logan will call me 1,000 times about that damn.
I'll tell you one good thing, right? Let me tell you how you know that you're a good parent. I wouldn't say this, under normal circumstances, but it just crossed my mind. All of my kids swear up and down that they're my favorite. Like, we have like private conversations. I'll be like, I know that I'm your favorite. And I'm like, wow, if I can provide an emotional comfort for each of my kids, or each of them legitimately feel as though they are my favorite, I feel like I'm doing a good thing. Because Logan swears up and down that he's my favorite. As much as I argue, what'd you say? You think he's actually my favorite? I don't have a favorite, Benz.
I tell all my kids that Logan is my favorite because they know he's not my favorite. They know me and Logan argue all. I love my Logan, but we argue so effing much. Like, we argue like, that's why I'm glad I was the only child, because I couldn't imagine having anybody. Like, when I say we argue, I yell at him, I bang the phone on him. But this is the one thing I say about Logan, and I love Logan so much. The one thing I say about Logan is I will scream at him. I will curse him out. I will talk to him disrespectfully. I will talk to him in a way that I don't ever want him to call me ever again. Like, any possible thing that you could say disrespectful to another man, I will say to Logan so he never calls back. The next day, hey, Dad, what's up? What's up? Nigga, I just cursed the shit out of you. Hey, what's up, Dad? Well, how's your day? Yeah, my day is good too. Yeah. Are you going to see the Giants today? The Giants are crazy. I'm like,
and you fall right in. Oh, so I'm a sucker. You just cursed him out within inches of his life the night before. But then the next day, you'd be like, yeah, actually, I'm going to the Giants game. Who do you think's going to win? Who do you think the spread's going to be?
The best.
I'm the sucker, though?
Here we go, sir.
I'm the sucker, though? No, but I don't have a favorite. And I can honestly tell you, I do not have a favorite. And a lot of people do. I have friends that will tell me like which one of their children are their favorites and the reason why. But there is no favorite for me. I just feel like each one of our kids is so different from the next that they all have their secret sauce.
I agree.
They
all, and people would think that Madison's my favorite.
Stop that. Stop that.
They would think that Maddie's my favorite. Ben said yes. I don't think so. There's things that I do at Madison because she's of age and we do things together. She's my ride or die. Me and Jax do things together. He's the sweetest little boy. Like, we go out and we work out every night with Jax, and we play basketball every day. London is my hair puller. She likes to go get tweezers and pull the hair out of my ears every night. Like, it's nasty.
That's what you had to say about London.
What she
that
does
was a good thing. Like, yeah, of all the things you could have said, is that she tweezes your ear
that's
hair.
What we do every night. We have great conversations. Brooklyn is my cuddler. She likes to cuddle on Daddy, and when I'm sitting there watching television, watching the game, she likes to cuddle herself in Daddy's arms. And then
Peyton's your spar buddy.
Peyton's just the meanest.
She's not. Stop that.
Peyton is.
She's not mean. You paint this picture of her that she's so mean. She's not. You're laughing. You want to get knocked out? Because I will fight you, Ben. Peyton is. Peyton is not mean. She is the sweetest little. You know what? Maybe your experiences with her are very different than my experiences with her, because she adores me. And all the time that I spend with her, she's telling me how much she loves me, and I'm telling her how much that I love her back. So.
All right. Well, whatever.
So getting back to the flight, I was saying that you're a diva, and I don't have the same type of requirements that you have. So I'm cool to stay in the back of the plane next to the bathroom if necessary, if it means that you get to stretch out your very long legs.
Well, thank you so much. Well, before we leave, we were talking about a giveaway that you wanted to do.
Oh, yes.
And like I told you guys in the beginning of the podcast, Gia's going to be giving away some cool stuff because of the holiday season and her new cooking show, Real Life, Real Food. Now, she's giving away some of these cookware, and she's going to be doing all holiday season. So it's not just this. Now, what is this? This is La what?
It's called Le Creuset.
Yeah.
It's the cookware that I use in my kitchen primarily. I love Le Creuset. And if you guys watched my oxtail video and my jerk turkey video, you would have seen me actually use it. So we went out and got some pieces for you guys, like Rashawn said, for the holiday season that we want to give away. These are square baking dishes, and these are called coquettes. You can use them for sauces because when I serve my food, I'm a sauce junkie. I love sauce. So whenever I have a meal, I give all of my family or all of my guests their own dipping sauce for whatever meat it is that I prepare. So I love to use these for that. Not necessarily that that's what these are intended for. These are more so intended to bake in. All of this stuff can go in the oven. So I've made individualized micro mac and cheeses for each of my individual guests. I've made mashed potatoes for each of my individual guests.
All that. It's la expensión. A la expensión. That's what it is. So if you want some of this stuff, we want to give it away. We just need you guys to do a couple of things. We need you to subscribe to the Casey Crew podcast page. Tell a friend to tell a friend, at somebody, like, forward it. We're going to be picking a random person.
No. Go to my Instagram page where I'm going to do a post and I'll give you the details on how you can win this gift. And then follow because we're going to be giving away a gift every single cooking show. So I'm going to be shopping for you guys and you follow the rules and you're entered to win. So my Instagram is Gia_Casey and you can also follow Real Life, Real Food Official on Instagram as well. And that's where you'll get your details.
All right. So if you want some of this La Expensión, you could definitely tune in and we'll see you guys next week. All right. Have a happy holiday. Enjoy the holiday season. We'll see you guys next week. I'm DJ Envy.
And I am Gia Casey.
And that was another edition of the Casey Crew.
Toodles.